Hello, my friends. I am Rick, and of course, you know that if you're a subscriber to the channel, and this is your seat at the table. Welcome to the table. And this is one of those items that came out of the Humble Bundle that I got a couple months ago, and I have seen this, and I believe this is a free PDF that's available from Catalyst. Catalyst puts out a lot of material that are free to have, and I have mixed opinions on some of it, and I have suspicions on why they put some of that out as free material. And hey, I applaud it because there's not very many game companies that actually produce beta canon material or secondary tier material that's not quite sufficiently large enough for them to make a formal publication for, or include in a larger supplement, and or possibly that it's just a sheer volume. You know, you keep in the back of your head that there are a limited amount of folks who are actually on the payroll and working full time at Catalyst. I don't know the exact number, but I know that at a game company gets to a certain scale, things become problematic. Internal politics and competition over resources and things like this. This has happened on a number of game companies. It was actually the big cause for TSR to end up getting sold out because it became a problem. West End Games itself had a major internal confrontation and competition issue that became financially unsustainable, and it cost them. So the fact that they're able to do this is another thing also, because of our current modern era, the fact that the internet and downloads PDFs and things like this open huge windows of opportunity that you younger folks probably don't really you don't appreciate as much as some of us might, or you don't see the true wonder of them, because you don't have to go back too many decades before then none of this was possible. You know, if you go back to the FASA era, everything had to come out produced by FASA under the FASA label as a hard book material, source book, or supplement, or an inclusion into something else, and like a magazine or something like this. And so this would be an article that you might have found in Battletechnology or something like that back in the day. And so the fact that now that they can just put these things out and charge you a buck or two for them, or in some aspects free, and I don't know, I can't give you 100% without pulling up CGL store and looking. I'm pretty sure I've seen this, and I know I've seen other historical turning point supplements. So ideally, you get 5 or 6 of them together and combine them, then they become a booklet. So if I were to download more of these in the future, I would probably rebind these into a single book. So, and from a perspective of a game, from the game perspective, this would be the equivalent of an adventure module, a smaller version of something like, you know, let's see if I can get it, something like this, right? That didn't have the chops to, or they just didn't want to develop into the physical source book, or they chose not to, and they didn't need to. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that were put out. This is one of those things that was produced by FASA that, while it's a good, and I'm going to review it here shortly, it's a good book. At the same time, it's one of those could take it or leave it kind of things. I find that this kind of stuff here probably falls in that category too. And so when we look at the concept here, we got an entry, a little short story for the entry, talking about Antallos, the world, and it says, "Welcome to the next installment of this series of historical turning point campaign books designed to give players the opportunity to fight in some of the landmark conflicts of the Inner Sphere's history. General information contained in the Atlas and Combatant section gives the players the tools needed to fight an infinite number of engagements on Antallos, while Track section gives a detail and some larger and more pivotal battles of the planetary struggle between the pirates and invading clan Snow Raven forces. Track section can also be used as a standalone game set in a pre-jihad time frame." It goes on and goes on. So we got ourselves a little map of Antallos as of 3067, and the world bio, the system, Said, rendered mostly barren through centuries of warfare, the world of Antallos is dotted with death zones, long-lost treasure troves of Starlink technology, and city-states that once vied for rulership. In a lot of aspects, this is the truest Mad Max kind of scenario before the clans stick their nose in and then go from there. The cleansing. So in 3067 saw the brazen raid by Thanos the Terrible of Prenus Prime. The Terribles not only made off large amounts of precious gemstones, they also dealt significant damage to the capital, especially the jewelry district. The Terribles also mauled the Outworlder garrison force. Clan Snowraven felt this event was be a perfect moment to prove their value as allies to the Alliance by demonstrating their might to the regional pirate forces. The clan wasted no time in diverting the bulk of Alpha Galaxy from their stations on Rezak's Hull and Farstar and invaded Antallos in November 3067. Right? So, then we got random assignment tables. We got some various commanders, Vance Rezak and Dorian Howe, combatants. And so we got the Band of the Damned, Thanos Terribles, the Dark, these are pirate organizations, Word of Blake Light of Mankind, a pirate ally, Mark Brady Gang, a pirate group, Port Kryn Militia, pirates, the First Long Road Legion, Outworlds Alliance, 6th Raven Battle Cluster, Clan Snow Raven, 9th Raven Striker Cluster, 4th Raven Wing Cluster, 5th Raven Wing Cluster. Doesn't speak too well of the Snow Ravens if they have any serious competition by a pack of bandits. But you know, bandits. Some of these bandit groups are no slouch. I mean, they can be a challenge. Give me the money situation, an unkindness in space scenario, death from above scenario, what's wrong with this picture scenario, turn out the dark scenario, showdown scenario, payback's a bitch scenario. What a beautiful brawl scenario. Right? Then we got an Aerodyne dropship sheet for the Buccaneer Rezak, Rezak's personal Buccaneer. And then we have what would be a map. Yeah, just imagine you Xerox this off or print it off and cut it up into right. It's showing you how to piece it together to get yourself a table map for the setting. And well, that's ironic. I wonder where that disappeared to. That would be my schedule sheet from the end of December to last week's work schedule. Shows you where I was paying attention to when I staple everything together. Yeah, it is what it is. So, anyway, there is Historical Turning Points Antelope. Till next time. Going on, my friends, this is Rick, and hey, if you like the channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, tell your buddies, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell anybody else that's in the gaming industry or gaming fandom that says, hey, this is a channel worth checking out, right? Till next time, I hope you guys have yourself